Sitting here meditating and pondering on the ways of the world today. Thinking of my people Africa and the state of the continent today. How mothers fed their children today. As granny goes down on her knees every day and prays. How many souls are dying from causes that could be prevented? If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Oh, 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 oh. Zayana Yahweh. Zayana way. Zayana way. Africa rise, yo. Every 4 years, the politicians say he's your servant today. And after you vote for them, they metamorphose into your masters. I say, have your say, we'll have our way, yeah. Not no strange, it's cow demon crosses. Meanwhile, souls are dying from causes that could be prevented. If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Oh, oh, oh. Zayana Yahweh. Zayana way. Zayana way. Africa rise.
We can be great again. World turbulence among the politics. Never hypocrite, lava. Never ever quit. Just a little bit longer. Victory is near. They're gonna disappear, go under. The leaders, them no care. Never tend to share. Babylon quit. The shedding of blood. Your heart that goes survive to show no love. Stay away. Consciousness. What the God in nation if for no righteousness. Just make sure the children live.
I pray for the future generation not to give up this fight. I pray for the children of tomorrow not to sell out their birthright. Cause when I look out far, I see the strangers eating up your food. Another form of slavery is coming here again. And that's why people are dying from causes that could be prevented. Oh yes, we do need some better leadership today. Oh, oh, oh. Zayana Yahweh. Zayana way. Zayana way. Africa rise, yo. Don't be moved. But as the day breaks, I see my people rising up again. Shaking off all the shackles. I see my people shaking off those chains. The lion with
Welcome to Tucson Hotel, your ultimate home away from home. Located in the serene town of Ejisu Ichakrum, just off the Jabin Road, we offer you a haven of comfort and luxury. Step into our fully air-conditioned 40 bedrooms, where modern elegance meets convenience. Whether you choose our normal, standard, deluxe, deluxe standard, or executive rooms. Each one is equipped with Wi-Fi and DSTV, ensuring that you stay connected and entertained throughout your stay. Indulge your taste buds at our exquisite bar and restaurant, where our skilled chefs prepare a wide range of culinary delight to satisfy every palate. From local delicacies to international favorites, we have something for everyone. Planning a business meeting or a special event? Look no further than our state-of-the-art conference hall. With a capacity to accommodate 80 to 100 people, it is the perfect venue for your corporate gatherings or social celebrations. But that's not all. We proudly boast the largest recreational center in the Ejisu municipality. With a capacity to accommodate up to 2,000 people, it is the ideal location for concerts, weddings, and other grand events. It comes with 4 fully air-conditioned bedrooms and a kitchen as one package. Our luxury cars are also available for rent. Drive like a boss. To experience true hospitality and unmatched comfort, contact us today. Our friendly staff is ready to assist you. You can reach us at 0244 654 458, 0246 505 327, or 0241 418645. You can also email us at info@tucsonhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel, your home away from home.
Radio, culture,
Under the sun we
Yes. 1212 Radio Culture. Midweek Editorial airborne right now. You're welcome. Right now you're catching us live on modernghana.com. Radio Culture. Culture spelled Kulcha, as I'm sure you know already. Yes, indeed. We're also airbound on our homepage, www.gnewsnow.com. Click on the radio player icon over there and you will be live with us on Radio Culture. Machuna Radio, we are also airborne over there. as well as about 8 other platforms. Whichever way you are live with us on Midweek Editorial. Coming to you live from Studio 1, Texas, USA Radio Culture. Let me tell you something. You may also be watching us on social media. We're airborne on YouTube and Facebook. Possibly also TikTok. I'm not sure. I'll confirm that for you in a second. But yes, whichever platform you are listening to us on, welcome. My name is Kwesi E, son Baako. And I am your host today for Midweek Editorial. Yes, congratulations, Ghana. We did it. We did it, but we're still in the process. I personally am not congratulating too much yet. I am still keenly observing. But yes, we on our part as citizens, we did it. We had a peaceful election in spite of all the fallouts. But today I'm going to be talking about 2 major things, just 2 topics, two pet. Sounds in the back. GH Reggae Dancehall All-Star. Stand for Peace is a saxophone version featuring a man called Valves. Okay, all right. We're not playing too much music today. We are here to talk, basically. All right, stick with me. All right. So what's going on right now? 2 things. Number 1, actually, before I get to those 2 things, before I forget, can I take a minute to talk about the man called Dr. Mahama Bawumia? Dr. Mahama Bawumia. I have very few words to say at this point, really, for Dr. Bawumia. Some years ago, before he became vice president, I had the honor to interview that man. And I must say, I liked his demeanor. I liked his composure. I liked his personality. If not for anything else, I'll just stay at that. I liked his personality when I got to speak with him in a sit-down interview in the studios of Sahara Reporters, Sahara TV, back in New York, a couple years ago. This was around 2015, thereabouts, maybe even early 2016. I'm not sure. I have to check that. But all I'm saying is I was very impressed with his personality. Now, to watch that man transform into an object of ridicule hurt my heart a lot. I have to say, part of what people may consider ridicule came from me. Personally, I won't hide from that. But you know why? Because I was shocked at how some of the things he would say. We have built more airports than anybody. Where are the airports? You know, so when you find somebody speaking like that to you, like you're stupid, sometimes, you know, but that's not the point right now. What I'm saying right now is Dr. Bawumia as a person, right? I think he was caught in a situation where he didn't really understand the politics that he was into, and he was being led. But again, I will leave that alone. That's no breaking news. What I'm saying right now is this. Isn't it refreshing to see the old version of Dr. Bawumia? At least, stick with me here. Isn't it refreshing to hear Dr. Mahama Bawumia not telling you that he has built more airports than anybody? Isn't it simply refreshing to just hear him speaking in a decorous tone instead of busting veins on his neck? I enjoyed listening to him conceding to John Mahama, not only because I think it was the proper thing to do, but I think that he
was unusual, wasn't it? Nobody was expecting that. I wasn't, right? But if he has future ambition as a politician, this will go to his credit. Because hate him, love him, cuddle him, pat him, feed him, butter him on both sides, he did Ghana one good turn. Look at the fallout even after he conceded. Can you imagine tension if he hadn't done what he did, with the EC taking its merry time to announce the results? So congratulations, Dr. Bawumia, is all I want to say before I go to my two topics, right? I just want to congratulate that gentleman, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I think that you did Ghana a good turn by your concession. Very timely too, very well timed. I'm catching signals that the machinery, the entire machinery, did not agree with that. I don't know. I can't confirm at this point. The reports I've received about that are unsubstantiated, so I'm not going to go into the details of what I heard. I'm just saying that I've heard that the machinery wasn't happy with his concession. But check this out, though. And here comes my conspiracy theory cap. Put that on TX, baby. But check this out, though. Where was Napo when he was conceding? In a very ideal case, shouldn't Napoleon, I don't think it's called Napoleon. Napo is just his name. It's called Napo. Just Napo, whatever that means. But where was Napo? Shouldn't Napo have been by his side? Shouldn't Napo have issued a statement of his own as the running mate? Where was he? Where he should have been by his side. But we haven't seen Napo since then. I don't know, maybe, of course, people have seen him, but where is he though? So that to me goes to put some credence on what I was hearing about the machinery not being happy with his concession. And he, as a person, I think sensed clearly that, listen, this is the end of the road for the thing. I have to look out for myself first as a person, also as a politician. And the gentleman obviously was concerned about violence coming, erupting in the country. So it was like, you know what, let me go out there and go do the honorable thing. So I don't want to turn this into a whole topic. I just wanted to start by congratulating you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm not your biggest fan at all. The policies you put on your campaign, I think, were not well thought through. I think were mostly fake, to say the very least. I think that you were being rushed through the process to be president, and in the event you ended up, I don't know who was writing your speeches, all these ridiculous things that they kept feeding you to say to us that made you look ridiculous. But campaign season is over. Stupid season is over. I call campaign season stupid season because that's when you hear people like Dr. Bawumia saying things that will make you go like, But thankfully, that time is over, and we hopefully back to a point where we're going to start speaking with decorum and with respect to each other, right? So we're not telling people that we've built airports that only they can see. I hope that the emphatic loss of your party will show not just your party, but every politician that the Ghanaian of today is not to be taken for granted at all. At all. The Ghanaian of today is not to be taken for granted. They've spoken clear, brofo, to you people, to you politicians. And it's not just to you, NPP. It's also to the NDC, guys. Because listen, NDC, John Mahama is going to ride on the fame and goodwill that he has got for the 4 years. After that 4 years, if you don't prove you are on your own, especially all those parliamentarians who are being used to punish the NPP, if you don't prove, you're in trouble. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Once more, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, congratulations. All right, now let's go and check out my issues for today. One quick moment. Okay, now for my first topic, right? I titled it "Not the Total Picture." Not the total picture. Just a couple days ago, or maybe even yesterday, I think, maybe, Nigerian comedian, I think his name is Pararan. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Pararan. I like that guy. The quality of his production is so on point. Yeah, but he has this show called Pararan Mock News, right? And he came on the show and he was full of praise for how Ghanaians have conducted themselves through the election, and rightfully so, because the election went extremely against everybody's expectations. Extremely, right? This is what I mean, because the previous election, the one before this one, was so chaotic. 8 people died, right? So on the heels of that, we will take this one with gratitude. However, there were still fallouts. And even aside the fallouts, the way Pararan presented the issue, right? And the way I know some of my Nigerian colleagues present issues on Ghana, sometimes it worries me a little bit, because it looks as if they source their news from certain places which tend to garnish the news a little bit. But it's not their fault, of course. If you're a journalist and you don't live in the country and you're looking for news, especially in a country where you're kind of saying politicians, even party officials, will meet you, a journalist, and give you a number that you have to call and pass through 5 people to reach. Like, who wants that, right? So you can't blame them. But anyhow, Pararan presented Ghana in a very nice and fantastic light. I want you to watch what Pararan said for a few minutes. I'll be right back to talk about to discuss it. Here's Pararan.
Ghana don't do election yesterday because yes, election be like quickie. Election be like short time. I see election only me walk on phone now. They look say now Ghana they do election. I did do like say somebody they go take Holy Communion. They just do the thing yesterday. Just now when INEC never call result, only the party don't call the result. Okay, Nigeria. Pu Yakubu cause Ghana election. Cause Ghana election. And a woman on I be their EC something like the way you be man, yeah. Man, and you not get sense, not the woman I do election. Election be like say people they go see Holy Spirit. Only 4 people na 4 people na move for the full election. Before I go turn, I wait till man turn about how the election to start. They get over 40,000 something polling units, 15 political party na contest. Why over 80.something million people now get valid voters card? Where did it start? I said, okay, let me watch Ghana. I see how Ghana election go be. Open, I saw everybody hide they shine. Before we look, NDC, they don't come outside. You see how they call them? Whether a control center, control room. It's just like in a US. See the way the team find big screen for the back. They don't calculate everything. How the team win. They don't even do the announcement, say they don't already win according to what their police agent give them. When they made the calculation, you say Ghana na share. They do show. So when they made the calculation, say they don't already win. You say, see the way they take the do them, they solve like mass. Before I look, Ghana station say the vice president they want to address the nation. You say na nation. Say you want to address the nation. I say okay. Now here the fight want to start. Because now the vice president, we don't there for 8 years. Now I see they contest as president. Now they break up. As the man boss out with his wife with some area people, all their face do boom. That's how it happen. his face not bright too. And then the president is it's according to their calculation where their polling unit agent bring come. Not be the one where Yakubu call, which is their EC. He said the one where their polling agent bring come, where they calculate time. He said they say former president of Ghana, John Mahama win. Even their MP, which is their parliament seat, say they not see win like that. Say now see the NDC win. I watch this and say, wow. He says, so he don't even call the former president to tell us, say, congratulations. He's saying, agree, so now win. Incumbent, those of them watch regadila.
Okay, all right. So that's the comedian Pararan, right? Now, funny guy, you know, he has his thing and everything. First of all, Pararan, maybe because again he's speaking in relative terms, so we can understand that, right? But otherwise, this may be one of the most aesthetically peaceful elections, right? But what was hidden from you, or what you may have missed, my good brother, is that it's all the events, incidents, things that happened before we got to a point where we were able to have an election of that nature, right? Now, I'll just go through it quickly for you. Just touch on a few things, just so you know that what you saw is not something that can be credited to the woman, Jean Mensah, that you were showing and using her to try mpua to your, by the way, Niger man. When you say somebody they try you mpua, it means they use you to compare in a certain light, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, it's not the work of Jean Mensah, what you saw. I have to be very honest about that. Let's be very frank. Let's not misrepresent history. Because everybody knows what Jean Mensah has taken Ghanaians through. My dear Pararan, my brother, you know how come we had that election? Because Ghanaians bared their teeth at the Electoral Commission, who had clearly shown signals of colluding, of an intention to collude with the government, with the ruling government. Believe me, if Ghanaians had sat down and been docile, it would have been a completely different story. And I'll explore all this more in the second story. So I won't go too deep into that, except to tell you that, my brother, before we saw this peaceful election that you were saying, and by the way, let me address this before I forget. I don't know what Kweme means in your lingo, but it very much sounds like dead to me. Like he said, only 4 people Kweme. My Niger people, I beg, back me up. If I'm wrong, then I'm going to apologize to you after this statement. But you said only 4 people Kweme, and that seemed to be all right. No, we don't know what no Kweme in no. People don't have to Kweme in elections. We don't Kweme during elections. The first time we came up with that nonsense was the previous election when 8 people were shot dead. That doesn't have to happen. I'm going to a police station, I'm putting my thumb in ink, I'm putting it on a piece of paper, and then I'm dropping it in a box. Where does death come in that equation? Okay, so only 4 people, maybe, again, you're speaking in comparative terms, and I get that. So, you know, but even those 4 people that died should not have died. So let's get that off the table, and then let's go on and address some of the things. My dear brother, let me tell you some of the things that happened before we saw the smooth, well-organized elections that you were showing your country people. The EC decided, right? They did so many things, but let me tell you the most outrageous thing that they did. The Constitution of Ghana says that the Electoral Commission is duty-bound to make the voting process easy for people. Okay? Now, we had an electoral commissioner who took the voting centers from polling stations and brought them to, this were during the registration, by the way, right? Took them from somebody going to the school park in their neighborhood. Ghana and Nigeria is very similar. I've been to Nigeria a few times. The way we build, the way we do everything is very similar. So I'm sure you get the picture. You know how in our neighborhoods, the local school is right there and you can just walk over there, and sometimes that's where we even go to play football because that's the only football park in the area, that type of thing. So you could just go there and go register. Now this woman takes it away from there and says, oh, go to the regional office to go register. And the regional office for some people was miles and miles and miles and miles away. Some people had to cross rivers to get there, practically trying to disenfranchise people. This is the same one who announced 4 different results in the previous election and colluded with some people in the judiciary not to mount the box to come and give account to the people of Ghana. I shudder for anybody to think that Jean Mensah is responsible for the peaceful election that we had. No. Let me tell you, Parara and my brother, why we had that peaceful election. And I've hinted at already. Ghanaians made it clear that we were not going to tolerate any other attempt like that, because in the previous election, the government had lost. Nana Akufo-Addo had lost. At the very least, we were supposed to go for a runoff. At the very least. He did not win that election. If he did, somebody tell me how come we had 4 different results, or maybe even more. So Ghanaians knew about that, and they said, this time we're not going to do that. Also, in the previous election, 8 people had been shot dead because the government used the military and some faceless people in military garb to go and terrorize people. People said, no, sir, we're going to stand up to that nonsense. And then the party, the NDC, also had its part, because the NDC had studied the rigging machinery of the NPP and had decided to nip it in the bud. So when all that failed, what else was there except for people to just go and vote peacefully? The soldiers could not be let out anymore. Days before the election, maybe a week or so before the election, the NDC had come out to announce that there was this army guy who was training people to all. If you were doing that, they had kind of clipped your wings, right? They had doused that fire from that angle. So they kind of doused different bits and pieces of fire and focused on the Ashanti region, where a lot of that shenanigans used to go on. What else was there to do but have peaceful elections? So my brother, I get your point. Maybe your EC is so terrible that even Jean Mensah would be okay for you. Maybe even in spite of everything that I've said, Jean Mensah would still be a good option for you. Maybe. But as for we in Ghana, we have a history. We know Afarijan. I'll just leave it at that. I won't even go to Charlotte to say, I'll just leave it at Afarijan. We know Afarijan. Till today, I personally don't know who Afarijan's sympathies was with. NDC, MPP, I don't know. How many people know? So when we use the Afarijan factor, of course, and again, as I said, we cannot credit that this peaceful election to Jean Mensah. Far from it. Let's credit it to the good, resilient people of Ghana who waited, decided not to back any coup, decided not to back anything, but wait it out until the day that they had the opportunity to switch government. And when that day came, they're like, no, nobody is taking that away from us. We've waited all these years for this. Nobody is taking that away from us. So all the credit, all of it, go to the Ghanaian people. And of course, as I stated, we can also give some of the credit to the National Democratic Congress, who did their work as a party. And once that was done, once they made sure they were checking all those things, what else was there? And of course, let's also give credit where it's due. There are people. I'm going to do a separate show on that, so let me even leave that. There are other people who, in due time, we have to give credit to. But at this point, my brother Paran, the credit go to the Ghanaian people for the most part, okay? Not to Jean Mensah. Thank you very much.
And the unfortunate refugee. Standing for peace. Reggae that sound, all star. That's it. I touch it here, I pat your brain as one. One my yen for some J. Yen fan got to a be ready. Every now, my yen my yen no man no. Them obeya, yeah man, I'm a Ghana, obejina pitin. You remember Liberia, 1990 and the unfortunate refugee crisis. Remember Somalia, where brethren and sisters are fighting over nonsense. Remember Nigeria, 1983 when our people were thrown over defense. We don't wanna go back there, it makes no sense. No apology. I'm in me passing
elections, it no be war, and politicians lie we before, no be today. So no matter who you they vote for, remember the children, the mothers and the babies, and think of peace. We stand for peace, we stand for love, united as one people. For better Ghana, let's find our ways. Standing for peace, you and I stand for peace. You and I stand for peace. You and I stand for peace. For better Ghana, gateway to Africa. Just for a peace, now we go there rock. Put down your knife and put down your Glock. Do no politician's job, no. Black. Spread this love all over the world and TikTok. Post for peace and post for love. Chime and go many warrior. We want one love, we want peace. Yeah. We want one love, we want peace. Yeah. I want one love, we want peace. Yeah. Just one love, we want.
Sounds in the back, GH Reggae Dancehall All Stars, stand for peace. Okay, now let's move on to my second topic. Baby, me don't pay no Okay, all right. My second topic is this. There is fanfare in Ghana in different shades and forms and all of that. Change of government, people are excited. Most Ghanaians are excited that we have a change of government, including some people in the NPP. A lot of well-meaning people in the NPP are happy that we have a change of government and all that, right? Now, people are taking victory laps everywhere. Oko social media. So actually, even some of these people, social media bloggers, OBG fans ni bin OBG ne chefan. JM asem dan so, I swear, because judging from Nkophobia Miriam Mokasa, I mean, person me bom mudi, okay, some people who purported to be, speaking for JM whatnot, and who were wanting to charge money to do that, right? Mishada Bisa Sankofono say a DM partner mo pay like mo paying, when DM comes to power, what do you want? Wouldn't Massimo catch me? Okatin say, Omunkofono, ebi pe car, ebi pe dine. Ebi per visa kwa brochre. Oh my God. And TJM also a special arrangement to our brochre embassies in now. Now what pitting in house. Because wow. First of all, the guy is not speaking for JM until you pay him at the time. Right? Or namo. And all you didn't know or just say he or the JM or he backs JM, they back JM, or they speak for JM. But they want to charge you before they grant an interview, right? Also, now so YouTube, so the Kopeska. Wow. First of all, I'm not a YouTube channel. I'm a full-blown media organization. We have an online TV, we have online radio. YouTube is one of our social media platforms. What I say? So if I want an interview from you, you're what doing in answer me, they call YouTube Akopiska. Fair enough. Yeah, funny say me they call YouTube Akopiska. See, I mean, Okasi Okatem so Opisika and San Wakasama JME. Isn't that bigger news? Isn't that bigger news? Say me cosplay. Senka me di Piska. Wouldn't I have just gone and made, you know, you're kind of saying on you, Udino, if you're worth anything, right? Honestly, these people are not worth my while. I'm just making the point that there's a lot of expectation. And apart from the expectation, there's a lot of people taking a victory lap for this victory that the NDC just chalked, right? Now, one of the people taking very undue, my brother, before I introduce you into the subject, know that it's nothing personal, okay? First of all, let me congratulate you for the work you've done. But I think that you are taking undue credit. And by doing so, you are discounting a lot of common sense factors that led to the victory by what you were saying. What do I mean? My good brother and colleague, Captain Smart, we cannot discount Captain Smart's contribution to the overall result that we had. We cannot. Nobody who knows Ghana politics and who knows Captain Smart can discount or belittle his contribution to how people framed their opinion whilst they were going to the polls. You cannot discount that at all. This is why Captain Smart was in the thick of bringing Nana Akufo-Addo to power, right? So when he spoke, no, I said, "Denchem finsua se abekacho se bombo chichi ewu." Bombo chichi ewu, right? How are you going to say so? What? But to be honest with you, sir, I was saying to me, I was saying to me, because if you're not denchem, wow. If you're not denchem, what the culture catches a bombo chichi, but to be called not bombo chichi, or no, what you are on your door. Anyways, Jamaican United said he came from a background that you could not minimize what he was saying because he was there with these guys, right? And he has a lot of information. He would make Kweku Baako blush. Kweku Baako information a papers in a good bag beam. Sakwa we all know say or the good him found the hard drive him also. He is. Let me tell you something. Love him, hate him. In this current dispensation, he has been a blessing to Ghana, right? Captain Smart, no question about that. But Captain, I'm saying we overrate your contribution a little too much, right? Because I heard you say something, and unfortunately, the thing is, say, I said now what kind of cry, no. That wasn't the crux of what you were saying, but that caught my attention because I felt like, if we analyze their whole canal, then where do the other factors that we all know come together to make common sense? Unless we're disputing science, unless we are disputing gravity, unless we are disputing common sense and decorum. But what am I saying? Moment Concoche Captain Smart, Yaba, we'll discuss.
One day, because so far my quarter hole in office, man, sorry. And I'm coming to me and say, Nyame would delay me, Pesa. Oh, no. Me, yes, or what is Yami Fabio? And I'm so no. Chale, who delay me? Baben delay me. I want a clear direction where to go. So don't delay me. Me do fear na common demi bruta. But what's na me say me contract confirm. We say that we are. Because maybe I try confirm some of my. Enti me call Apostle Kojo Safo. The junction na wo branch here, wo fra no aba Shell filling station bi wa.
Yeah.
Dem say me call top biscuit. The top biscuit ni wie no. And I'm a bed room ha Kwesi E me buy no. Na me say nua ma wo gate na. No say Kojo. Na and so Sunday, e be ya ba so ah. I'm so far. Say me drive it 555 sir. Then let's park here me take that car. Also choose and I will lead you. So san come come choose Bawumia.
Onua.
And now me tell my suma say choose and I will lead you. To be share presidential candidate now I'm saying I'll choose Mahama. That is why Minyate say choose and I will lead you. I'm saying me choose Mahama. So
I don't know choose.
the reason why I chose Mahama is say, I mean cancer control. Mahama was vilified for no wrongdoing.
But Mahama wasn't a saint.
He's not a saint. Someone winning the TV.
Onua.
No who won fast war pa. A chance to have more.
Okay. Make sure saying in our TV. Enuanom ni adofo. Enti, let me take it one after. Let me just take it one by one. Okay. First of all, someone say it's a very long tape where we can't spend the whole time playing somebody's entire show on our show. But from the clip, no one year, Captain Smart say, na oda honom ena oti Nyankopon ne. Ena Nyankopon ka kire ni say ono Captain Smart for whatever reason no ono ena Nyankopon choose ni say on choose ye leader mfama yen. Okay. Ena oda ho san en ochusi John Mahama na. And this is what caught my attention. Osinka opera and kobe chusi Bawumia. My brother, that is bullshit. That is hogwash. And if you have the time, I'll tell you why, my beloved brother. First of all, like I said, I respect you a lot. Minjindi said, Obiabetina discount your contribution, okay, to the victory, of course. But to say wo and Nyankopon ka kire say you can saying wo na odi assurance say choose the president na opa na ka oja no ho na say Nyankopon e ka kire say who do you want to choose? That would have been ambiguous. It wouldn't even have budged me. But when you want them to say opa and ka choose Bawumia, how dare you? This guy, bro. I love you, my brother, okay? No homo. But that is bullshit. Whatever happened to all the factors that caused Ghanaians to be so angry at the government? Who catch and say, in spite of all that Ghanaians had been through, all the nonsense that we had seen happen, all the money that we had witnessed the officials steal and flaunt out under our very noses. You want to tell us pensioners, esika ya jaka tom so mombe in 15 years time. Ebimo ewudada ekono. Opeso chance $1 na 4 cedis. Agbabedu 18 cedis. Opeso kachen said these people telling us say we are stupid because they have built more airports than anybody, but we can't see it. Opeso Kachen said finding money under Cecilia the past bed. Opeso Kachen said the Supreme Court spitting in our faces and telling us say our passports don't even mean say we are Ghanaians. What are you talking about? Say in spite of all that, no, Ghanaians are so daft and stupid. Say they would not. Their opinion doesn't even matter. It boiled down to you, Captain Smart. So when Nyankopon say choosy, nanka upa and kabe choosy Bawumia. That's fuckery there. That's discounting the pain of the people of Ghana. Stop that nonsense. That's discounting the pain of the people. Nana, you know Ghana. And yatnas in ye din ashe akufo sa. First 4 years. Just you win here. Young fun is a win here. I don't think there was too much, complaint about that. He won 2016. 2020, we all know that he did not win. But yet, in spite of everything that he was doing, how he was treating Parliament, COVID tax. Who on planet Earth, how many countries, somebody Google that for me, please. How many countries paid COVID tax? Yeah, the COVID tax, but saying you come, we didn't say nothing. Sticker and all these idiots came to stand and say, you will pass it, whatever you did, e-levy. Hang around our neck. We didn't say anything. PDS, all these things, we did not say nothing. In spite of all that, no, we are so daft, say, we cannot even make an honorable choice unless you, Captain Smart, God tell you, say, but you see, now so pa. Charlie, when I see somebody who speaks with that kind of way, say, now it boils my blood. Stick that fuckery in your house and deal with it. Say, oh, now, say, you don't just show fear. But when it comes to Ghana, now, please, my brother, and I love you very much because of the work you are doing for Ghana. Okay, you've done some things in the past that I wasn't very happy about. But say, no, Michelle, how are you? You are a pillar. You are a pillar. Take some of the spotlight off yourself. Suddenly now, but sound man, no kind of media, me one way, and I'm using the media, my using them, one when my binge when fuck all of that. Excuse my French. It's not about you. You are not Kwame Nkrumah like you claim you to be or whatever. There's a little bit of Kwame Nkrumah in everybody. Who cares to have a bit of Kwame Nkrumah in them? And you are one of them. And maybe you have a higher dose of Kwame Nkrumah in you than most people, which is great. But you are not Kwame Nkrumah. We're Captain Smart, born with a destiny, born with your own course that you have to chart. We're journalists, we're a broadcaster. Move the narrative forward like you are doing. Nothing wrong with what you are doing, I swear. Except that take some of the spotlight off yourself. God told you, said choose, and you could have chosen Bawumia. That vexes me. That vexes me. That's nonsense. That's bugger nonsense.
Everything I'm more than you Mama politician died out meant to run and just the difficulties we overcame. The same differences make us stronger. Over here, over there, voices come a unique hating with the nation. One letter preferences set the sister against system of fear.
You see, Captain Smart, when you say that to Sonoa, you're also discounting the hard work of the National Democratic Congress and the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people that they deployed to make sure that John Mahama wins this election. They did a lot of work. Now, Captain Smart, say ye pe obia or what air or ye on air. Not yet the credit na money so no to Nigerian me winner. I swear to God, that would have been Kevin Taylor. I am not playing. That would have been Kevin Taylor. And you know it. In fact, I think I heard you say something to that effect, Grapo. Kevin Taylor, right? Again, love him, hate him, whatever you want to do with him, butter him on both sides, roast him over the fire, whatever you want to do with that brother. He single-handedly, and when I say single-handedly, of course he didn't single-handedly, he has a team, right? But he's the face of his team. So I'm sure you pardon the expression. But he did so much work to let Ghanaians understand what the issues are, to expose so much of the thievery, right? So you are discounting the work of people like that. There are others that I don't want to start going down the list, but I'm just using that as an example. Somebody like Kevin Taylor, right? Somebody like even the NDC itself, right? Sami Jenfi and all his team, all the work that they were doing. Kofi Boache, DSP Kofi Boache. What's that guy's name with a cowboy hat? Akwanom didn't call court and no person mafia no turning around that mafia. Jakpa. And you're really discounting all these people's, you're kind of saying, basically, that's what you're doing. You're discounting their work. Everything that they've done don't matter. God came to you and said, "Sir Captain Smart, it sounds me double new no. No crap. Poem say David Fihon. Oh, now we are the next me double palm me penas and party. Okay, all right, you go ahead, choose. You know, think I'm a pan, come choose. And 2 person chairman said, "Whoa, Captain Smart, and can who choose Bawumia and can Yankupon in his almighty mercy." Ebeja Ghana for bra ya brain dina ho. Said there be Smart and Concofa Bawumia and Timomi and Concofa Bawumia. My friend, you listen, man. It's a joke. Ghana no as a joke even yet. Even broadcasting dan kasa na kro mo yen. Say mo sa kwa the friends okete che free fa ne ho anwan. No mo wo bi gire che no kan so say ko encross sembenso no. Say broadcast as is like growing no mo deal. Utie news a obeke say ye sentence obi. Obi akwa wi ade yen fa ne kokoto. Na ewudifo bi kente omodenden a omakwa bu obi enso yen fa ne kokoto yet nkese ye ewudifo. Nipa no share studio ho no onyandi na yenyandi asem no enso odi kan start a friend no ewudifo a omakwa koyi. Journalism has to be looked at. But that's not the topic. I'm speaking about Captain Smart right now, claiming victory, waving all the victory flags, whatnot, for saying Yankupon a catcher and he said, "On choose the leader," and he chose John Mahama. Nanko pan ko be choose Bawumia. Nanka panka u chasu baby. Opanka chasu say you chose John Mahama. Okay, be funny sa. Baby a shemi bufo party o say senka opa and ka be choose Bawumia. What you talking about? I am among disana Yankupon sa o. Among disana Yankupon sa. Meaning say pastors ni bi na komudi sa nkwasi asem no. Se so do ho ba beji sa de we mo. Crasiphobia motititi say Bawumia winning among be shame after your TikTok no or say Jimmy Nibi apologies to Jimmy for we country ben a woman no also ye nyame nipa wa ba be honom. Still, the Paco na sorry. They didn't hear me one cry. Some mama, your friend is saying, "Some mama, I don't even know why Ghana is tolerating that woman." No, Agrada or whatever her name is. I don't know why Ghanaians are tolerating that woman. Obiaji ne portion. Also, so Captain Smarter, such a brilliant broadcaster, will be staying in the studio. No my facts, data, figures, exposés, just like you do. And I keep saying, I love your work. You are one of the journalists that I watch. Na beka sem ni nti a wo se wo na Nyankopon se kona ko chusi na wo pranka be chusi Bawumia madam. Men can sabium, I beg you, okay? Na nice. Thank you very much for doing the listening. I'm about to bounce. Before I do, let me read a few messages of social media and we will be out. This episode of Midweek Editorial is sponsored by Two Sand Hotel. So woko Kumasi, that's our business be our honoma. Uni baby was so kokoda. Miss Unim the fashion say Kumasi na say woko honoma. Yen konko tina kronimu Kumasi city ni musa. The Albany so could be a way cool, calm on the outskirts, like Tucson Hotel. Just so. Now, if you do more rental cars, nibi. What that or more air conditioned rooms now? What do you do? We now was so now you put with you any heavy one be pa no. Now, if you do more rental cars, be not their boy racket it your home area. Walk your business, we are not about back to a just so a chunk room. Tucson Hotel, no Barbeda. That's so we do it. My name is Kwesi E, Baako. Catch us on the weekend live stream. We'll be bringing you a live stream with our correspondents across Ghana. From Bolga all the way down south to Accra. We'll be bringing you bits. The news that the mainstream media doesn't cover, no. And no, Yenye de Bebremo on Radio Culture, iCulture TV. Quick messages and then we'll be out. So, Bismarck says, oh, that's a reaction to something. He says, bam to what? Okay, hold on. Okay, I see the message. So Justice says there is no victory for the NDC until these thieves are arrested and prosecuted. Oh gosh. What's on my list? Wow. Disclaimer. These are comments from our social media page. And the man said there's no victory for NDC until these thieves are arrested and prosecuted. And these are the ones that he thinks should be arrested and prosecuted. He says, Cecilia Dapa, Kweku Ajimai, Menu. Ken Oforiata. Onuka de Nidia Bema Kabeti. I said, Onuka de Kauzina Kanidi Edikayo. Gabi Ochedako. Okay, Ononya government appointee. Unti dodgy kakraba. Paul Adom Oche. Okay, Christmas tree. Brian Achampong, he has something to answer for. If you ask me personally, Sir raid at the parliament, no. Also, money decided who come on. Osansi Jankoma Akufuado. Hey. Okay, also private citizen, but of course, if we find something wrong, like that money where they were saying what that, hey, okay, now wow. Pius Ennam Hajide and co. So the man justice says all these people should be prosecuted. Unless they are prosecuted, there is no victory for the NDC. And I think that's what somebody was responding bam to, with like 5 or 6 or 7 bam M's in the bam. Big bam. Brr. And Bismarck says, hunger for power isn't what Ghanaians want, but serious accountability, transparency, and persecution of corrupt officials. Did you hear that? I repeat that. The man Bismarck says, hunger for power isn't what Ghanaians want, but serious accountability, transparency, and persecution of corrupt officials. I'm sure you want to say prosecution of corrupt officials. All right. Okay, thank you very much for doing the listening on Radio Culture. And if you're watching us on iCulture TV or on social media, thank you very much also. My name is Kwesi E. Baako. I'm about to bounce. Before I do that, though, let me have a quick recap of today's issues. First of all, on this show, we did congratulate Dr. Mahama and Bawumia for reverting to the calm, measured gentleman that he is. I'm not saying was, I'm saying is. He is, because he still is that person, right? And for once, it's very refreshing to hear him not telling us that he's built airports that we cannot see. And I congratulated him especially for conceding at the time that he did. He did us a good turn. And I think that if not for anything at all, we should be grateful for what he did at that time and give him the credit for that. All right. Now, that said, I also went to speak about a clip that I saw on YouTube with my good friend from Nigeria, Pararan, of Pararan Mock News, who was giving Jean Mensah a lot of credit for the peaceful elections that we've had. I sought to challenge that a little bit because I don't think that Jean Mensah is responsible for the peaceful election that we had. And you know who I forgot to give credit to when I was speaking of all that? Dampare, Akufu Dampare. We should give him a lot of credit. To be honest, he is the man who was in charge of security, right? Election security is in the hand of the Ghana police. He's the IGP. So if we have had a peaceful election, he really should be the first person to be congratulated. George Akufu Dampare, and again, love him, hate him, roast him, whatever you want to do with him. He deserves credit, a lot of credit for the peaceful election, peaceful in quotes, because I hear still people died, and that should not be the case at all. Right? Who did I hear making that comment about when Americans are voting? You don't even notice, to be honest with you. You drive, sometimes you don't even notice. In Ghana, be the tracker kosi baby no che biane, and the macho man be a bit down to be a far boxer could be Jimmy Dodo. Sometimes we should cut out some of these things. We're moving forward. But you know what? I'm very encouraged. I'm very, very, very encouraged. I'm very hopeful for the future of my country. I'm very, very hopeful for the future of my country. Because after a storm, there's a calm. We have been through a storm. There can only be calm. And I think that what we need to do is to all rally behind John Dramani Mahama to redeem our country. And Mr. Mahama, I'm waiting for your inaugural speech and everything. One thing that I want to hear, please, is that you together with your finance minister, whoever that is going to be, you are going to reform and reset those rules that took away the pensioners' monies. Let's do something about that, please. Let's make sure that the pensioners who have bought bonds and were expecting to use those bonds in their old age, can we have a system that will restore their bonds to them so they can, instead of waiting all those years that Oforiata says they should wait for, no, they can get their monies, please? I know everything that I'm expecting to hear, I will hear. This is the one thing that I don't know if I will hear. So I'm making the plea, right? Because just imagine, so what year Juma, when you said the safest way to save your money is to buy government bonds. Now, a brass and so be you see a day now. Why you maybe say so unya hodina na udije ejuma no bio. Tiafi na also fall back. Na ukakra wa bia wo hodum so uhi dra na odi biato. Uhi atadia na odi biato uhi also ko be bia na wo hu da meche na onya mobo as a people. Nana secondary bia omon care for omon aged, no. They are bogus. We can build all the infrastructure. We can build all the whatnot. We can have the highest GDP whatnot. If we don't have compassion for our aged, we are nothing. That's why it hurt my heart. So beating me Even I didn't say pensioners esika or the Sabakwa Bumafa ama Afemobe Council okay back in how many years now, but you knowing very well say these are old people, some of whom may not live to the time I was so Musika. That's sacrilege. That's a curse. So if you are resetting Ghana, let's not forget some of these little things. Please, Mr. President-elect. Any which ways, my name is Kwesi, a son, Baako. I come in peace. I come not to please. I will catch you, God willing, this Saturday on Weekend Editorial. Till such times, thank you very much for doing the listening and the viewing, as the case may be. I'm out. And before I do, let me play you. Let me leave you with. And again, I almost forgot this. Hold on. 1 second, I'll be right back.
Only if you knew how much I loved you, you wouldn't deny me your love, for I showed you. But I'm gonna only if you knew.
Okay, all right. Before I go, let me take this opportunity also to say a huge thank you, massive thank you to all the artists that came together for the Stand for Peace project. Okay. All the artists, all the four females, all the four ladies, Akle, Top Girl Rena, Laptawan, and Rookie. Those are the ladies. Also, man like Kwame Patan, man like Fifi Silla, man like Okolesi, man like Kojo Kombolo, man like Fred Kente, man like Nilante, man like who else? Who am I forgetting? Three more. Man like who else? Okay, you'll see them in the video, by the way. But I think it's worth mentioning man like Seven Fireside, of course. Seven Fireside is on the project as well. And 14 of us all together, reggae dancehall artists, came together to sing for peace, right? It's a song called Stand for Peace. We did our part, and we're very positive in our hearts that it contributed to the peaceful elections that we just had. So on behalf of Komansi Musiki, Imperial Media Concepts, I would like to say thank you very much to all of the artists who made themselves available for that project. I'll leave you with a video of that song. Do enjoy it, and I'll see you over the weekend, actually. Enjoy. Thank you very much. One love. Bye.
Standing for peace. Reggae dancehall all-star. I say, I touch it here, a battle brain as one my yen for some J. Yen fan got to a be. Na ye queen my baby, my engine no man no. Them obeya, yeah man, I'm a Ghana, obejina pincing. Remember Liberia, 1990 and the unfortunate refugee crisis. Remember Somalia, where brethren and sisters are fighting over nonsense. Remember Nigeria, 1983 when our people were thrown over the fence. We don't wanna go back there, it makes no sense. No apology, but I'm it.
Elections, it no be war, you know. And politicians lie we before, no be today. So no matter who you they vote for, remember the children, the mothers and the babies, and think of peace, think of peace.
We stand for peace, we stand for love, united as one people. For better Ghana, let's fight. life and put down your clock. Do no politician's job, no. Block up, block up, block up, block up, block up, block. Spread this love all over the world and TikTok. Post for peace and post for love. Chime and come anywhere, yeah. We want one love, we want peace. Yeah. We want one love, we want peace. Yeah. We want one love, we want peace. Yeah. Just one love, we want peace.
Where the fireman sing. Peace is the ultimate, no debate. Better way to communicate, tolerate, cooperate with another immediate. Motivate, encourage, let one love dominate. Circulate among the privileged and delegates. Peace for my homeland, very important. No bother sign the bloody contract, no bloody covenant. The umbrella and the elephant show be tolerant. Young dada preaching more love, don't be ignorant.
Do you wake Mr. Soldier, wake policeman and civil society? Do it for peace, do it for harmony. Let's do it for fundamental human rights.
Arise the youth of Mother Ghana.
Arise the youth of Mother Ghana. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Stand for justice, stand for love.
Fly the flag of Ghana higher. Come chief over parts. Come make we unite
We
people.
stand for peace, we stand for love. United as one, one people. For better Ghana, let's find our ways. Standing for peace. You and I stand for peace. You and I stand for peace. You and I stand for peace. For better Ghana, gateway to Africa.
I'm your same watching Jay, name what MDDA, and I'm waiting. Or maybe I share Kabidie, me one dance idea, Mambo Fogina feature. Or the seeker pushy violence. Now, Miss Yasungeka crying, Yamuma, and say no. Kwame pattern where they miss Remo. As soon as some no me the Bremo, singing for peace and singing for love.
Mena shike fwanshe, kafe no ya pla. Tumo na ye, kono kaya to abla. Se mi anwe, obake bono kakitan. Ake boke mo kwe feme ko shimi ni poyana. Ke politician te yawo, kana bo ba pai da ke bo mo ko bijibo, onu lo ankra. Nyawo janwo biyare, na me kafe basa. Politika falo se bo eko do kokra.
Yentu abano pepepe. Yentu abano pepepe. Na se yetu abano wiya. Nia yehia ene kroye. Yentu abano pepepe. Yentu abano pepepe. Na se yetu abano wiya. Nia yehia ene diaboye. Ma wobi nkoti wobi. Ma wobi nkohuru wobi. Ma wobi nkoka wobi o.
Excellence mchina sise. A man ma papa biara bomba some game bando sando nyimde. Ghana kuti in man. So sena obadan refugee. Go be the crumbsy a whole feel free. Integration can
Everything I
more than ye wusuban. Integration can
Everything
mama politicians died out meant to it to run and just
And difficulties we overcame. The same differences make us stronger. Over here, over there, voices come by uniting with the nation. One letter preferences, set a sister against sister, interference, brother. Yes, brother, moving together. It's the power of unity.
You don't really wanna die at this time. When everybody want to survive, you don't sacrifice all your blood, oh, for who only cares for your tongue. Oh yes, they only come around when it is time for you to sacrifice yourselves. If I were you, my dear, I use my energy right. You're digging top girl vibes, so yeah. Ghana needs love, we need love. Kasakana kuka, we need love. PEACE, I stand for peace. I stand for peace. In Ghana we should vote for peace. lokaci ya kai da damu saya kan kwanci hankali mu so juna yanda ya kamata mu duka guda ne ya muke damuwa mu je kusa da juna mu bari mu gama kai she mu yi daya mu manta da fada bar ita wade mu manta da kowa wai ya zage let's free our minds and stop for the people of this land Mother Ghana see the children got to survive and live happily after oh no whether MPP whether NDC we are one let's put this country first cause we are one people oh no yeah election time no mean to do up so better drop the guns vote for your party with peace and love but no war